Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
If you were dating someone and if they said they don't want to have sex with you until they are married to you, how would you react? I guess I would keep having sex with my wife instead. So still no sex, and here I thought I was hiding it so well. I would inquire about the reasoning, then act from there. I respect the choice, but I need to know the logic behind it if I'm going to commit to someone. What? You'd try communication? Unbelievable. Clear communication instead of looking at Reddit comments for advice. Unreasonable. I wouldn't mind waiting as long as they needed, but I probably wouldn't get married to someone unless I knew we were also sexually compatible. My mom once told me to make sure to have sex before marriage because, what if he calls you mommy or something? So yeah, thanks mother. Lol. Just read a post about how this woman's BF calls her mommy in bed and looks just like his mom. I once dated a girl who had been abused in a previous relationship and wanted to wait until marriage, or at least engagement before having sex. She needed the security of knowing she wasn't being used. The relationship didn't work out. We remain friends to this day, but not for that reason. I completely respected it, and although it wasn't right for us, I'm hopeful that she'll find the right person for her. Sex is important, but it isn't everything. Are you by any chance a penguin? No. Are you penguin? No. That was what my wife said to me. We would kiss and pet, but not much more. I love her, and what is important to her is important to me. She decided she wanted to after she figured out that I was serious about her and our relationship. We had sex about a year into the relationship, and we got married 4 years into the relationship. Someone saying that they want to wait till marriage might simply mean that they want to be with the person they are going to be with for the long term. You should always respect a person's boundaries, and if their boundaries are not something you can respect, don't be with that person. It really is worth it, no matter who it is. And BTW, we have been together since the late 80s and have both had boundaries that we respected. But it has always been worth it, and I am glad to be her husband. Edit. Thank you everyone for the awards and the comments. I didn't expect this, but this has made me happy. Second edit. I hate that I need to add this in. Almost everyone has been wonderful, and I have enjoyed reading all your experiences. A very few have questioned or disputed what I said, about some might change their mind. Most have been fantastic in your comments and spoke clearer than I did or could. But some are being less than nice. Let me clarify for those. This is my experience with the woman that I love and adore. I don't advocate thinking someone saying they want to wait is anything but straight up facts. If my wife wanted to wait the 4 years till marriage, I would have gladly. But since she did change her mind after figuring out I wasn't leaving, my statement of some might is accurate. But not all, or probably most, will change their minds. It is up to each person to decide if that is the situation they want to be in. But regardless, I think you should always respect the choices a person makes for themselves. Love and respect should always go together. I agree with you, except I believe that choosing not to be with a person is respecting their boundaries. Not respecting boundaries would be staying with the person and pressuring them. No one should be pressured into a relationship. I'd stop dating her. If she stays true to it, then it's way too much of a risk for me. Lifelong sexual incompatibility sounds like a nightmare. She seems to have some ideas surrounding sex that I very much disagree with. Which is a sign for incompatibility as well. If it was just a test, then I dodged a bullet. I'm not interested in someone who does bullshit like tests. This is the best breakdown for the break up with him side of things I've seen in the comments so far, and is exactly my reasoning too. Yep. Not to mention life is short, and the time in your life when you can have sex is even shorter. I have a friend who waited until marriage. He is 41 and has probably had sex 20-ish times in his life. He's still married, but his wife has no interest in sex at all. I think he is waiting for the kids to be old enough, and then he is going to get a divorce. The whole thing just sounds sad and miserable for all parties involved. Staying together, for the kids, is the dumbest thing to do unless it causes serious financial hardship to divorce. From my experience with my parents' divorce, having one happy parent is far better than having two seriously unhappy parents. My current boyfriend was like this. He wanted to wait until marriage. If it were anyone else, I would have dipped TF out. But for some reason, with him, I told him I'm willing to wait. Then a month passed into our relationship and he asked if we could have sex because he kept getting too turned on when we would do other stuff. Tears of joy now 2 years later. We have a healthy sex life and overall relationship lol. Then a month passed into our relationship and he asked if we could have sex because he kept getting too turned on when we would do other stuff. Thou temptress of chaste men. Another one bites the dust. I would tell her that I am the wrong man for her and wish her all the best for her future. This is a very good and respectful answer. Why do you need us to sign a legal contract about possession and power of attorney with the government before we have sex? That's not what it is. That literally is what it is. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. Joking aside, whatever a person's wishes to have about sex is cool. Just ain't gonna work for me. And that's cool too. Yeah. For me, sexual compatibility is just way too important to risk that. Exactly. Sex is very important to me. And I need to know if we're good together if I'm going to have a relationship. Let alone marriage. Also, my personal opinion is that this is not a mature view of sex and doesn't bode well for a healthy, unencumbered sex life anyway.